My question is that, so Felix, you mentioned that the moment you put your business online and you are using cloud as a backbone, you are global. The democracy, it's a global democracy now when it comes to cloud world, right? So the moment you come online, basically you are catering to the entire globe with your product or services.
Now,
Now,
even sorry, I'll just make a short point. Now, even the payment gateways come automatically integrated with it.
yes,
Like,
the moment you
like
share
if
the
you see,
invoice, it comes along with
like
it.
if you see Stripe, you see PayPal, it's all integrated. You do not have to
Correct.
do anything.
Yep. So again, one of the speaker yesterday mentioned that consider cloud as the buffet and consider your product as your appetite, and then decide these are the buffet, these are the menu items which are already available on the platter. You just pick up, integrate, make the product fly. You don't have to worry about much things these days. So one of the things which I wanted to understand is, if let's say my product, my service, my company is getting global within seconds, within a matter of time, how do I stop my competition? How do I stop people from copying me? Felix, your take.
Well, what I've seen is you make sure you work with proper legal organizations like Photon Legal. Myself, there were times where I had to get in touch with lawyers and intellectual property individuals to make sure my knowledge and my frameworks were being properly patented and were being recognized. And I noticed this when I was based in the ASIN area. Something I was doing was growing very quickly in Australia. So I actually had to reach out to a local an attorney and a firm who helped me properly patent my two of my different frameworks that I had that were conflicting. They cleared that up, and I was able to avoid some legal issues and some competitors in the framework I was been following. The aspect is you have to think about it when you start up. The question comes down: how do I prevent someone to copying my idea? And if you're noticing the traction immediately, is to get with a intellectual property attorney or a firm to help you get to mainstream that. If you have the right partner on your legal side, you can flow like butter goes on bread. It is that simple. But if you do not think about it, then you're opening yourself up to competition. Again, everybody likes a car. All the cars drive the same. It's the way they're designed. So you need to make sure that the way you're designing it, you're patenting and you create the right legal process. So when you start up, make sure you have that advice. Make sure if you do have counsel or you hire or you consult with an attorney as you're going. That is one of the major aspects. If you have money, great. If you don't, make sure you have a friend that understands it, can at least give you a half-ass, pardon my French, a half-ass solution instead of no solution. So when you get to the point you have the money and you have the financial means, is to get the full solution. At least you're protecting yourself halfway instead of the full way. It's gap insurance. You have to have something to protect you a little bit or the whole thing.
Fantastic. You have to have a protection. Otherwise, people just gonna use it, and you won't be able to even claim that you're the one and you enjoy the rights. So
I have a slightly different take on that.
I wanted to hear your opinion on this as well. Go ahead. Go ahead, Indranil. What do you feel?
Today it's the world of open source.
Right.
Okay. Open source actually rules the roost. So if you see the technology stack, if you see everything, like everybody uses open source. Okay. Open source is BSD license, right? So there is so if you say that Uber started the aggregation of the cab drivers, Ola quickly copied it, and today Ola is also a unicorn. Okay, like Ola, there are other service providers who are out there in the world. Amazon started it, now Flipkart is there, Myntra is there. So I think, of course, IP protection is there, specifically in very deep technology areas. So if I talk about protecting the AI algorithm, it does make sense. You have to protect that because there is a certain way you are processing things. There is then if I talk about, say, rocket science, of course. Okay.
Right.
So you need to protect that. But beyond that, if you see the kind of unicorns and startups that are rising, it is all about the proper execution of that idea. It is the execution and the implementation of a business idea. Today, technology, with the advent of cloud, technology has just become an enabler rather than being the most important piece in that platform. Technology is just an enabler. So it is how you are presenting your business idea to your potential customers that is more important. Now, say for example, I come up with a new idea. I start implementing it. Now 3 months, 4 months down the line. So you must have heard that saying that ideas are dime a dozen. There is no value of an idea actually. The value actually lies in the execution.
In implementation, yes, execution.
Yeah. So the value lies in how the team is executing it, how fast it is coming to the market. So I recently came up with a cybersecurity product. So it took me just 4 months with my team to execute it and roll it out in the market. Now that's a very new idea. Okay, I cannot say by any legal means or anything that you cannot do it. Oh yeah, why I cannot do it?
Let me help you out in
Yeah,
understanding
so,
what can be
No,
protected and
just
what cannot be.
just
That
let me
will help.
explain that. No, just let me explain that. Okay, so I cannot do it. So the point here is, as a entrepreneur, as somebody who has come up with that fresh idea, so say I know that 6 months down the line, a lot of people will jump in that business because it's lucrative and it's untouched.
Right.
Okay, now the point is there that I already have a lead of a year. Okay, now being the originator of that idea, I have already thought a lot about it, taking into a different kind of, nobody knows what is my end game there.
Okay, that's a different call.
So,
That's a different call. That's a business decision.
one thing
Yeah,
that I
Vishal,
would
go ahead.
One
Your
thing that
share.
I would like to add here is protecting IP in the longer run will help you with mergers and acquisition.
Yes.
That is the only thought process
It's
that
the
comes to my
valuation
mind.
game. It's the valuation game.
It's the
Perfect.
valuation game. If you
I
are not
agree.
protected, you are not valued properly.
I agree.
See, one of the important point, of course, Vishal mentioned, Felix mentioned, is mergers and acquisition IP would help you, protecting your niche, protecting your business ideas would help you. And the point which Indranil also mentioned is that, of course, you can have ideas on the go. You can have so many ideas, but how many of them are actually going to be implemented? How many of them are going to get to the market and see the day of the light? The point is, if you have, let's say, an innovative product, let's say Uber, you mentioned, Indranil, the point that Ola just copied Uber. The reason Ola could do that is because Uber had 0 patents in India. Had Uber filed some patents in India as well, Ola could have never even launched because they would have just simply using the same patent. Ola is not available in the States because Uber has patented technology in the States. So
No, I
No.
have a great example.
So
of
it
this.
blocks.
It is building blocks. The other day I was walking down the street and I'm like, in my head, it's, oh, I should build a point of sale system. I feel like I should build a cloud-based point of sale system. And I sit down at home, do some research, and I'm like, well, Stripe does this. We have Toast, we have Micros, we have there's so many products out there.
Right.
And I'm like, why would I build something? Why would I recreate the wheel if it's already out there and everything I'm having in my head, the transaction logs, is already available out there it's already out there. Why would I compete something on the other market? But is there a niche to what I'm thinking? No. So forget about it. It is that aspect of when I'm thinking of a startup or I'm thinking of a business idea, I need to do the market research to figure out, will it work or will it not work? And that is where it comes down to. Half the things I'm thinking of today on the spot won't work. Now, if I said I'm going to build a point of sale system customized to automotive, great. That is a niche market. That is a market that outside the big firms of General Motors, or we have Volkswagen, BMW, X, Y, and Z, they have their own in-house software. They don't have a generic software that is used across all the boards. The little shops that are automotive down the street, or in India, every corner there's someone who's fixing a car or some sort of auto repair. They're using the old paper and pen. There's no real centralized software for that. Is that a global idea? Yes, it is. Is there something that you can build out there that integrates with the several major applications that help you on following the codes and wiring diagrams that are by the factory? Yes, that is an open market, and there's nobody out there really doing this from my research. Could this help someone out there and come up with an idea using our services, all three of our services, to build that? Yes. Now the question is, who wants to jump in and do that?
Absolutely. I mean, again, we're going back to the same point, is we identify the niche and then of course use the technologies as an enabler to basically solve that particular problem. And once you do that, you are superb with your execution as well, that's where you start putting barriers by protecting your niche by the way of patents, because otherwise people would just copy you, and then you will have to beat them on the market price. On marketing front, you basically end up
the cost
a lot.
the cost benefit analysis.
Yes, that's
is,
it. That's
is realizing
the
I'm
only thing.
investing in that, now someone else is doing it for 3 times cheaper.
Right.
I'm losing money. Is it really worth it?
You're
And
losing
that's
money,
the
you're
idea
losing
of
customer, you're losing money, customer, and of course getting a lot of headache as well, because somebody is out there just copied you and you could not do anything, even though you were the first one.
correct.
All right. So yes, the best advice is, of course, whenever you have some technical idea and you feel that, okay, I'm going to make it run as well, make it implemented, go ahead, seek an IP counsel, protect your patents, protect your technology so that nobody else copies it. And then you don't have to actually beat somebody just on the price to enjoy the monopoly in the
Correct.
market. That's the best advice.